Weatherproofing is all about keeping you comfortable in your home. Did you know the heating and cooling you pay for can escape through gaps around exterior doors, windows, light switches, and electrical outlets?
Even outlets? Wow, I didn't realize that. So how do I prevent those from leaking?
It's so easy. Just pop in an insulated outlet or light switch cover.
Some solid advice.
I want her to be better than I was. Graduate from college. Something I ain't get a chance to do.
Yeah.
I want her to do that. I'm be there with her through it all.
Hi, I'm Rick.
I'm Mary Beth. We're in Memphis, a city rich in history but plagued with poverty. One of the country's poorest zip codes is steps away from world-famous Beale Street, and you can find mansions just down the street from abandoned houses.
We take those throwaway houses and turn them into homes.
For people returning from prison in the hopes of building a better life. We know something about second chances. We met in a tiny East Tennessee town when we were 13, and I was crazy about it.
First time I saw Mary Beth, I knew that she was the girl for me. Problem was, I was shy.
Until 40 years later. And in between all that, we had kids, we had marriages.
I had prison, and now we want to help other people that have made mistakes. Some people flip houses.
We flip lives.
Just get a little bit behind me.
She's feeling a little ripe.
Oh, we haven't even started.
My kind of woman.
We haven't started. You're so Appalachia. We haven't even started yet. But today is day one, and we are getting ready to go and do some demolition.
We're going to do the
Demo
demolition
day.
if we quit talking here at the trailer.
Okay, fine. Let's
you
go.
know, we're
we
heading
have we have folks from TVA coming to help.
Oh, God almighty.
Frank will be there. Frank is a jewel, and he's going to
Just a man.
take out some
Just a
cash.
man. I'm the jewel.
You are the jewel. Anyway, I'm sorry. I've only had one cup of tea. This man is not.
She's got to get a couple cups before she's awake.
Anyway, we're going to start demolition today, and we
Yeah.
have TVA volunteers coming, and we have Lifeline volunteers coming, and hopefully we'll get some things knocked out. You want to lock
Yeah.
that door?
Yeah.
Because we got to get going. You know who else is coming?
Oh,
today?
listen to you. We got to get going, Mr. Crick in the Neck.
I don't have a
There
crick
we
in the
go.
neck.
Let's go. We got to get going.
We have Sid coming. Do you remember who Sid is? It's your fault we have to have Sid
Oh,
coming.
yeah.
Before the
Sid's
vote.
coming to find her bracelet.
Yeah,
Okay. It's my fault.
a bracelet bought with love
Apparently,
and lost. Because apparently it wasn't very important.
was love ever there if love was lost?
God, he's getting philosophical on me this morning. We'll check you later. Cross your fingers.
See ya.
the demolition
Have a good
goes
day.
well.
We're gone. Adios,
God, you're
amigos. Let's
in a
go.
hurry. A man in a hurry.
Bye.
Sid Witherington is a treasure hunter. He got his first metal detector as a teenager, but got serious about the craft back in 1989.
I found 12,000 bullets since 1989, and this is as big as they got. This is 69 caliber, and I found it where the hospital is in Kyville.
So would this be a Confederate era?
This is Confederate bullet.
We first saw each other again after almost 40 years on August 18th, 2018. So he had given me for my birthday that year 2 teacups. We won't go into why. And on the cups he had inscribed 81818, so it's kind of our number. So for his birthday the next year I got him this 14 karat gold bracelet. He said he wanted it inscribed with 81818. So this was a gift of love from me to you until he lost it.
Well,
Now, mind you, I still have my teacups. What's that tell you about who cherishes
But
whose gift?
we came over to
Most.
this house, and the bamboo was so deep walking around to the backyard.
So you're blaming it on the bamboo?
Well, yes, because you told me to knock some of the bamboo down so we could go around to the back door. And apparently the bracelet clasp broke.
And that's why we had Sid, the metal detector.
My love has not been the same since. Until I find that bracelet, love is on hold.
It's a question mark, huh?
Love is on hold. That's all I can say.
This puts out a signal on the ground, and when it hits something metal, it bounces back, and it'll give you a number, and it'll give you a sound. There is a lot of metal in this yard, about the most I've ever seen, actually. It's going to be thousands of signals since we're looking for a bracelet that's 14 karat gold. I put down some 14 karat gold and I ran it over and I know what number it'll give me. So if I run across it, it'll be that number and I can ignore all the other numbers.
Yeah, someone might have found it, and you know what? If somebody found it, they needed it worse than we
That
did.
Antonio looked like a shyster. You might have picked it up right behind us. Gave it to LaTanya on their wedding. Damn.
Yeah, 81818 really means a lot to them.
I could see that happening.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start demo.
We give up the search as volunteers from the Tennessee Valley Authority arrive ready to knock out some walls.
Well, y'all don't waste any time.
Working alongside TVA executives are participants in the Lifeline to Success reentry program. Some of them may live in the house once it's done.
You're gonna take this out. We're gonna come over and take this out, if you can. You got safety glasses on? Okay. I saw y'all look at me like pitiful. That's
Rick's
pitiful.
the weak link.
Yeah.
Diane Grover is just a Memphian who cares. It was her family's foundation that gave us the donation that kick-started Flip My Life.
You know, looking back, I truly could not believe we started with just $9,000 in the bank.
I know.
We
didn't
just sort
have
of thought-
any idea. We had no idea where money was coming from. Maybe we should blame them.
It's your fault.
So
That was a lot of
yeah,
faith.
that was
a step
going out
on
on faith.
Either faith or foolishness.
The mission is pretty near and dear to my heart. I had PTSD, chronic PTSD, from my daughter's illness and probably other, life happenings. And in that process, I was going to get help for anxiety and the PTSD, and I was inadvertently placed into a psych ward for individuals with schizophrenia. And in that process, I made 80 of the most wonderful friends on both wards. And the majority of the people that I met had been in prison before they were placed there.
So you heard their stories?
I heard all their stories. That's where my heart is, with the people who maybe have things just a little bit tougher.
Two of the Lifeline crew are father and son.
I got locked up in '99. It was sort of like over a female. The guy didn't agree with me being at her house. So he jumped on me. He beat me with a stick. So I shot him. Shot him twice in the chest. I did 23 years.
Eric was 6 when his dad went away.
I had no man around me. A woman couldn't teach me everything that I need to know because I was a young man. I was living with my mama. I had lived with my auntie. Then I lived with my other auntie. I was basically being moved around because I became a problem child.
If a child grows up with an incarcerated parent, for instance,
that child grows up in an environment where they are not protected, where they don't have a good sense of self, where they're missing a critical adult in their life who could make a difference in how they view the world. And so now you've got 3 or 4 different areas of neglect, abuse, or abandonment that child is impacted by.
It all adds up to what mental health experts call the ACE score.
Adverse childhood experience. What it means is that on 10 measures of life experience, you can score 1 point for every one of those. And they range from who's in the household who may have a mental illness, who's been incarcerated, who you've witnessed or know has been abused, emotional, psychological, verbal, physical, sexual. Anything that gives a child the view that they are unworthy of love, unworthy of protection, unworthy of being made safe or to feel good about themselves.
Is there a direct line from a high ACE score to later criminal behavior?
There are direct lines to several things, including risky behavior that can lead to criminal behavior is certainly a possible outcome. It's not what's wrong with you, it's what's happened to you.
So check this out. I Googled, and there's a study in 2018. If a child has a parent in jail, they have 5 times the number of ACE scores. So it's almost like a pipeline to prison. And then you think about all the other factors. If a parent's in jail, maybe the family is a little bit more on the financial margins. That's an ACE score.
By me not finishing school, like, I could never get no job. Every time they say they're gonna call me, I done walked the whole Fraser Boulevard, put in applications. I didn't care if they was to hire me for just to hold a sign outside. I was trying to grow up and get a job and be a man. But I still had a little boy mentality. So then I just said, I'm like, hey, well, fuck it. I started breaking in houses, started robbing people. I was like, shit, if this how I gotta get it, this how I gotta get it. Nobody ain't trying to help me, so.
Y'all can learn to lay them baby edges down. When I tell, do you hear me? If y'all can learn to lay them edges, it's over with.
Across town, DeAndre holds a hair braiding class for dads with daughters. It's not open to just ex-offenders. He wants to reach all kinds of dads.
Any way I can to get closer to my daughter, I always do it.
And, you know, sometimes our mom just don't want to do it. So I've driven before school, like, to her auntie's house to get it done. And one time an Uber driver did it when I on the way to school. One time an Uber driver helped me out.
How much did you tip?
Yeah, I want to say like 10 to 15.
My dad actually used to do my hair. So I'm excited to be here today. It brought up those memories for me.
But as Tamika sets up her equipment, she gets a phone call with some bad news. Tamika learns the gruesome details of a particularly heartbreaking murder in Memphis. Just days after Sequoia Samuel's mother reported the 4-year-old missing, police found the child's body. Police have charged Sequoia's mother and her boyfriend.
This isn't fair. No. This is much needed.
Sequoia's death hits very close to home for Tamika. The child's father is a family member.
They need to know how important they are in their babies' lives. They need to understand. They need to understand. You're right. You're right. Because the biological father was fighting for her.
And DCS
kept giving back.
It is important. Yes. Thank you for being strong enough to do that today.
Yes. Thank you.
Mary Beth pulls herself together until she's asked to describe Flip My Life.
We want to reach people who will watch a flip show for the flip, and along the way realize that, number one, we're all redeemed, and that people who have been incarcerated are not necessarily bad people. They're mostly good people who have made bad decisions, and that there are a lot of factors that some of us have never had to live that contribute to those decisions. I'm sorry. It just hurts my heart to think of that little 4-year-old girl this week who, through no fault of her own, was born into a situation that was born out of trauma, no doubt.
This is just the right time, right? To talk about just how important you all are in your baby's lives. You matter. I don't care what the mama has said. I don't care what society has said. You all matter. Most definitely you matter. Okay? You do. And something as small as putting a little barrette in their hair, or even laying their edges down there. If y'all can learn to lay them baby edges down, to give them the opportunity to say they daddy did their edges, oh, life changing.
Mannequin put on Jasmine got pre-braid. You got too much hair to wear, Jasmine.
Or barrette or anything like in the hair first. Take those down. You got a braid. Take this little braid down.
Do you see this?
Okay. Yep. If you just start combing straight out these curls right here, you're gonna hurt them.
Okay.
Right?
Jasmine, I think she just lost some hair.
So you gotta be careful. Okay, that's good. Y'all doing good. I'm proud of y'all already.
Y'all got a sidekick.
There we go. Comb through that thing. Yeah. Watch this. I'm gonna shield the fade.
Okay, yeah.
Man, my thing.
You say ear to ear. What you mean ear to ear?
So like that. Yep.
Now this gonna be the fun part.
Yeah.
Yep.
Boom. I'm killing this. Look at this thing. Look at the definition. She gonna need a whole lot. I'm gonna go to the car and get the oil, and then we're gonna start from there.
She needs the Holy Ghost.
Man, all of it, and I need it too right now because this is serious.
That's not bad. DeAndre,
Yes, ma'am.
Calvin is giving you a run for your money.
Oh, okay, Calvin. Yeah, I like that. You see that uniform?
This a B plus.
Yeah.
That's an A plus.
No.
Did Mike just give up?
I'm so proud of myself right now. I'm so proud. I feel so accomplished.
Okay, you're director of the Shelby County Office of Reentry, and this little braid.
That brings me joy. I'm so proud of myself right now.
Ricky acknowledges that what he did back in 1999 cost two families an awful lot.
I took somebody from them. Also, I took myself from my family. So, you can't get it back. But I try to be there for my grandkids.
For many, that's easier said than done, because if a child's parents aren't married, there's no legal recourse if one parent blocks time with the kids. So Eric goes out of his way to make sure this works, because he knows what it's like to grow up without a dad.
I just keep a good relationship with my kids' mothers. We just co-parenting.
And it's working
together.
okay?
Yeah, it's working. They just want me to be in my kids' life, and I want the same.
Sadly, that's often not the case, and incarceration can complicate matters. The nonprofit Family Matters regularly attends Shelby County's expungement fairs to help dads facing the built-in hurdles incarceration can create.
If you get behind on child support, what happens?
Mothers, grandmothers, aunties can be gatekeepers, and we've seen that so many times because as a gatekeeper, you can stop the father from seeing his child. It takes time to clear arrearages. What I would say to her is please allow him, if he walks in with a bag of groceries, accept that. If he gives you $10 a week, accept that. Accept his offer of, I love my children, and allow him to be a part of his children's lives. We know that children whose fathers are involved in their lives, their grades are better in school, they're less likely to commit crimes, girls are less likely to get pregnant at a young age, and so we want fathers, we want those active, positive role models in their children's lives.
Jay Armour came seeking expungement, but found the Family Matters program affirm. It stands for A Father's Involvement Really Matters. Their classes will help him navigate a system that sometimes seems stacked against him. Legal bills from a recent arrest mean he can't afford a divorce, so he has no recourse when his wife moves his children away. He hasn't seen them in months.
I'm worried that they, think I don't care about them, think that daddy abandoned them and doesn't love them. But when my wife first disappeared, I used to tell my son all the time, I'll never leave you. I'll never leave you. So I hope that he remembers that. I don't know what he's thinking. I can only hope for the best. I don't know if she understands that it's really hurting them, but I know that she's definitely doing it to hurt me. And to not, be able to see my children lose their first tooth be the tooth fairy and stuff like that. You know, it hurts me a lot, but I want to, you know, be there for my kids and instill the stuff that I learned, that I know, in them.
What we're trying to do is help the fathers understand the need for them to be in their children's lives. If men have not been nurtured themselves, they have no clue of how to nurture. When they're in these classes, they are taught how that child is impacted by their absence. And then that facilitator talks to that father about trying to make amends with that mom. It takes time to heal it. But we want her to understand that whatever happened between she and the child's father is one thing, but allow the father to have input into the child's life.
And you've seen it work.
We've seen it work. Mary Beth, that's why we're doing this. We're doing this for the children.
So if you want to give us a call back in August, especially with the possession charges and how, you know, it's being legalized everywhere.
Criminal Court Clerk Heidi Kuhn has increased expungements exponentially, largely by reducing the fines and fees people face when trying to rebuild their life. She believes that helping a parent means helping a family, and that helps the entire community.
They can come into our office, pay 50% of what they owe, and their debt is then settled. The other thing is the state allows the clerk to charge a $100 fee for an expungement. Now that's a lot lower than it used to be, because it used to be $489. But they allowed us that opportunity to waive it if we want. And so I now waive the fee. I'm the only clerk in the state of Tennessee who waives the $100 fee. And people say to me, well, why would you do that? That's a stream of revenue for your office. Well, that may pay for one position, but we've expunged over 7,000 people. That's allowing 7,000 people to get a job. So $100 for one position versus 7,000 expungements, 7,000 jobs, that means more to me.
In the meantime, Jay focuses on his other love, Memphis Jookin. He has started a kids program that incorporates mentoring and teaching the popular dance form.
I hope they just, you know, get some positive role models, somebody that they can call when they're having a problem. I want them to definitely feel their love and know that, you know, they're not in it alone.
Does it seem, I don't know, ironic that here you are helping other people's kids and you can't even see your own?
Yeah, it's definitely ironic. I know God has a purpose and God's gonna work it out. But yeah, I look at it like, you know, all the stuff I'm going through, I'm gonna be a testimony for someone else. You know, so they won't go through the same stuff that I had to go through or that I'm going through.
Y'all like that, John? I bet. Say no more. Say no more. Well, Lil J, you know what to do, bro. Alright, let go, Lil J. My bad. Let go. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. Jump, da, da, da. For the sky. Ha, ha, ba, ba, da, da, da. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, pow, ba, pow, ha, ba, ba, ba. Yeah, man. Hey. Yes, down. Good job, everybody. Thank y'all for coming out to class. Thank y'all. I'm getting the supervising stuff down pretty good.
Back at the house, the Lifeline crew learns the term demo day is misleading. For this project, it's stretching into a second month.
Honey, come in here. We need to talk.
What?
Before Antonio and Ted get here, we need to talk about what we're doing with the room. I've had him
I thought we already
another
decided.
idea.
Okay.
All right, first of all, my idea is we want to raise this floor up. And the reason being, we have got
a drain pipe coming out of this wall that's going to be coming in for the washer and dryer and for another sink and lavatory.
Okay.
Where we're putting a commode over here and a shower.
Okay.
If we raise the floor, we can drop a pipe, run it back through here, and come out this back wall.
Okay, so
Okay.
are we going to raise it
Raise it
to that?
to this height.
Oh, to this?
We can raise it to this height. Now, to make this work, as you can see, that's taken 10 inches.
Okay.
Right now, we've got 8-foot walls. We've got this open ceiling.
Okay.
I'm taking these rafters down, these tie-ins, take them down. I'm taking 2x4s on either side and going across. That way it ties all this in and keeps the walls up, so
Right.
there's nothing.
Okay, but the ceiling is going to be, we're going to keep the...
We're keeping that look.
Okay.
My original thought was to go in with the beadboard like I do the sunrooms,
Yeah.
the vinyl beadboard, and come over. Problem is that's going to cost a lot, and we're on a budget.
Oh.
I've decided now, once we insulate it, we'll come in and put can lights, recessed lights, and we'll put sheetrock
Why
up.
not beadboard?
Nope, and the reason why, it's going to be a lot cheaper, but I want a bright white ceiling in here.
Okay, but it'll still be like that.
It'll
That's my
still,
concern.
it'll come up this side, flatten out, and come down this side. And this will, now we've got 8-foot walls again.
Okay, but can we put the beam? I want the beams
No.
there. Why not?
Because I want this wide open with bright ceilings.
I know, but can't you cut... Hold on. But I think I like the beam. I
was told I got to be the designer.
No, you weren't.
Oh,
No.
yes.
No, look,
Yes.
if you take these beams down and you cut them down, you can put them up. They'll still be high.
I want them. I want a complete ceiling, white ceiling across. And in the process, I'm putting a window right up there. No, we're not.
I don't mind the window.
I know, and that is going to provide light. These will knock out the light.
I think the beams from, number one, I don't mind the drywall. I would prefer the beadboard, but you're right, we have no money. I think what we should do is do, can't we do drywall like this and not have it
No.
go flat? Why not?
No, I
Why
want
not?
the flat.
Why?
Because that's how I like it. It makes it more modern.
I disagree.
You don't build. You're a TV person. I'm a builder.
I get to design.
No, you don't.
We're going to have the beams. We're
No,
going to have
we're
the
not.
beams. Yes, we. Why not? Give me one good reason. We have beams at home. These
Where?
folks deserve beams.
Where's the beams at home?
In the living room, across the room, the great room. There
Oh,
are
no.
beams. Yes. These beams could be painted white against white. That would look good. All you have to
Honey.
do is you need to cut them down a little bit if you
Let
want
me
to
tell you
raise
how
them.
it's going to be. You're going to go talk to your friends and have coffee while I'm building this.
We're gonna
and
have
that's how it's
beams,
going to be.
no.
There'll be no beams. We're going to have this bright white and open.
No, we're gonna
all
have
the
beams.
way.
Just watch. There will be beams.
There again.
And then you're going to put a window there? You can do that. You can. I'll let you
Nope,
do that.
nope.
But we're getting beams. I'm going back to work. Leave me alone.
It ain't going to happen. It looks like Mary Beth used her persuasive skills on me last night, and she's getting her beams. Let's not go into detail about how it was done. That's all.
I know what you're saying. But I did get the beams.
Didn't take but 6 seconds.
Meanwhile, Eric goes back to his job with Memphis Allies. After spending his 20s in and out of jail, he now works for the nonprofit intervention organization. He reaches young men in the streets with a message different from the one he got growing up.
We look for shooters, gang members, groups, or affiliations. I was once out there, so I could tell I know who to target. We might see a couple people standing out, and we just, excuse me, sir, may I give you this? We got a program, sir, where we help people. We put them in a program and help them. People who've been affected by gun violence. You ever been shot, had a friend that been shot, like we trying to help. We help them with IDs, driver license, get back in school, help them find a job. We got all type of resources, trying to keep them out the streets. Like, we can't tell you what to do, but we can only help. I wish this was here when I was younger, Like, I probably would never went that way. I love what I do. Like, some of the people that we help, like, you know, they put the role on that they real tough, but being there talking to someone and start crying, like, but that's something that they say they don't do. Yeah, I feel like a lot of them want to do better, but some of them just never had nobody to show them their real love. Like, some of them probably never had their fathers in their life, so I'd be like, nah, little bro, y'all don't want to go to jail, bro. Ain't nothing good gonna come out of there.
The trust they have for Eric builds a bridge to therapists and life coaches who help heal lifelong trauma.
Eric has been one of the individuals in which we serve. By him living that life and knowing the struggles that the young men that we're now serving are going through, they trust the change. By them seeing the change in him, I believe it's more encouraging to them to know that they can do it.
Mental health is often not praised in the Black community, and so it's been very eye-opening for me to see my participants open up to their clinicians. It's like a relief for them, you know, so they actually have someone who's building a relationship with them, and to be heard without being judged. The outreach specialist, it's easy to pour into them, but when you have a clinician that comes in and shows you that they care about you and you're able to open up, it's like a big sigh for them. It's very heartbreaking because we always say we can't want this change for our participants more than the participants.
You know, when you say some guys don't want it, are there some who just don't believe it's possible? Like, if you've never seen an example in your own life of success, of a healthy family, of peace, they might want it, but they don't even know what to want.
Absolutely. The goal is to be the change so they can see the change.
People tell me to this day, bro, you changed a very lot. Like, I'm proud of you. Like, I never had too many people to tell me that they was proud of me. So, I never graduated school or nothing, so.
School of hard knocks.
Right.
Are you proud of yourself? Are you proud of the work?
Yeah, I am. Like, cause I'm seeing it now. Like, I'm like, man, like, I like a lot of stuff that I was doing, I don't do. Like, I stopped a lot of stuff. Like, I'm like, wow. I'm like, I really did change a lot.
Eric often sends those who will listen to Lifeline to Success. It's the program that gave him his first step toward a positive and productive life.
Man, I got love at Lifeline.
Eric helped stepbrothers Marcus and Antonio connect with Lifeline.
I seen what Lifeline can do for me. They seen my potential when I couldn't see it.
The people that I used to hang around, they still doing what they want to do, you know, still going back and forth to jail, all that stuff. But with Miss Brown and Lifeline, she worries about her people. If you don't call, you go to work next day, you will hear her mouth. You will hear her mouth.
She's like a mother?
Yes, a good mother.
At first, I didn't want to come out. So I had got used to everything, and I knew the world was going to be strange to me. So, you know, I just didn't want to, I didn't want to do it. I was scared. No, I have flashbacks too sometimes. So.
What's that like?
It's like reliving it all over again, what you did, and you don't know how to respond to it. I try to talk to somebody when I get like that. I got a counselor I talk to, so. The old me, I wouldn't have came to nobody. But now, I'm more sensitive type person. Back then, I didn't care about it. Well, they treat me like family, so.
They help me. They got classes, and it's been helping me a lot. I go to therapy every Thursday, talk to somebody about my anger. Yep. You know, this, right here, beating up walls, knocking down walls. Help me with your anger and everything. So,
that does help, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, oh, it most definitely do, because when he go home, he be all just mellow out. Like, he just, I was like, man, yeah, they pick you as the right person to do the house with, because you knocking out walls and stuff, bro. I ain't never seen you just more calm when you leave it. Like.
You gonna make me take the heavy one?
I was going to take the heavy
Oh no, I'm not taking the little girly one.
But by month 3, Demolition's therapeutic value is wearing thin.
I love the fact that you've demolished this entire bathroom, but there's still a shower puff.
The Lifeline crew is on another job, and on top of that, the new dumpster hasn't been delivered.
So when the dumpster couldn't get here, we weren't going to stop working. So some stuff we just left where it landed. But how about that? That's how we've been doing demolition. It's not really the way you're supposed to do it, but you do what you got to do. So hopefully the dumpster will arrive tomorrow and we'll get it all out of here. So of course it just makes everything harder because you're having to work around it. It's 37 degrees. It's so cold. So how's demolition been going? How's it been?
I said to Mary Beth, I believe it's going like hell. It's just a lot of work, dirty work.
It's so cold.
Oh, don't make it sound so. It's easy. This is nothing. This is what a contractor does all the time. Okay, bullshit.
Well, I'm
it's a
not
pain in the butt.
Still to come on Flip My Life.
Oh, hell.
How 30 minutes of work can save you hundreds. Rick gives you a pro tip you can take to the bank.
That's how professionals do it. What's fun is later on you get to peel this off like we were back in elementary school.
And
I feel so powerful.
heavy equipment brings yet another renovation snafu.
Watch out for the truck.
Plus,
how can my life story help somebody else?
a 10-year journey from the streets to the sweet side of life.
I look at life like a relay now. It's always gonna be ups and downs, and it's never up to me to finish the race. It's just up to me to get it to a position to where when I pass the baton to the next person, they don't have to break scrap.
Don't miss the next episode of Flip My Life, sponsored in part by the Tennessee Valley Authority.